Ladies and gentlemen, when others insult you, do not react with anger or despair. Instead, you must harness the power of calmness and strategy. An insult is not a defeat. It is merely a challenge thrown your way. And how you respond to this challenge will reveal your true strength. First, understand that insults are often a reflection of the insulter, not of you. Those who throw insults are usually hiding their own weaknesses or frustrations. Do not be swayed by their words, for to do so is to let them control your emotions, and your emotions should always be your own to command. Now, in the face of an insult, maintain your composure. This is the first victory you can achieve. When you remain unshaken, you show others that your position is firm and that their words have no power over you. The moment you lose control, you lose the advantage. But there is more. If you are wise, you will use the insult as an opportunity. Think of it as a chance to rise above the conflict. When someone insults you, it is not enough to simply endure it. You must use the situation to your advantage. You can choose to turn the insult into something productive, using it to sharpen your own resolve, or to learn something about the person who spoke against you. Every action, every word, can be turned to your advantage if you choose to see it that way. And remember, your power lies not in reacting, but in choosing your response. Let others lash out in anger or frustration, for their actions will always reveal more about them than about you. You, however, will remain in control, poised and focused on your own path. When people insult you, do not allow their words to define you. Instead, use their words to strengthen your resolve, to show them your power and your ability to remain unshaken. This is the true path to dominance, not through force, but through mastery of your own actions and emotions. In the face of an insult, your first and most powerful weapon is calmness. The initial reaction to being insulted is often one of anger, embarrassment, or frustration. These feelings are natural, but they can quickly cloud your judgment and lead to a reaction that might harm your reputation or diminish your power. Staying calm is not about suppressing your feelings or pretending that the insult does not hurt. It is about choosing not to be ruled by those feelings. In a moment of insult, your ability to stay composed is your first victory. Why is calmness so crucial? The simple answer is that it allows you to maintain control over the situation. When you react impulsively, whether by shouting back, insulting the other person in return, or displaying visible signs of anger or hurt, you lose the advantage. You allow the person who insulted you to dictate the terms of the interaction, and you end up becoming a puppet of their emotions. A calm and measured response, on the other hand, signals that you are in control, that their words have no power over you, and that you will not be manipulated by emotions. Take a moment to consider the impact of a calm response. By remaining composed, you not only keep your dignity intact, but you also show strength and resilience. Your ability to stay calm in the face of provocation demonstrates to others that you are a person of self-mastery and discipline. It shows that you are not easily swayed by trivialities or external opinions. This type of composure is a sign of inner strength, a strength that can turn any situation, even one filled with negativity, into an opportunity for growth and self-empowerment. Additionally, staying calm provides you with the space to assess the situation objectively. When you react impulsively, your emotions cloud your judgment, and you may say things that you later regret. Impulsive reactions can escalate conflicts and make matters worse. However, if you take a moment to breathe, step back, and process what just happened, you can make a more rational decision about how to handle the situation. This pause gives you time to analyze the intent behind the insult, the context in which it was delivered, and whether it is even worth responding to at all. Calmness also has a practical advantage in social and professional settings. People often respect individuals who can keep their cool, especially in tense or difficult situations. A calm demeanor signals confidence, intelligence, and maturity. It allows you to think strategically, positioning yourself as someone who can handle challenges and adversity with grace. In contrast, those who react impulsively, whether with anger, tears, or insults, risk damaging their image and reputation. The ability to stay calm and composed will make you stand out as a person others can rely on during moments of crisis. Moreover, a calm response allows you to assess whether the insult was even worth addressing. Not every insult demands a response. In fact, many insults are simply tests of your composure. People may insult you in an attempt to provoke a reaction, to see if they can break your control, or to assert dominance over you. If you react impulsively, you give them exactly what they want. But if you choose to remain calm and silent, you take away their power. Often, the best way to respond to an insult is simply by not responding at all. Silence, paired with composure, speaks volumes. Another advantage of staying calm is that it allows you to plan your next steps carefully. When you don't immediately react, you have the opportunity to consider whether it's best to engage with the person who insulted you, ignore them, or even use the insult as an opportunity to educate or correct them. This time to think enables you to choose the most effective course of action, ensuring that you act in your best interest and maintain your position of strength. In conclusion, staying calm in the face of insults is a powerful strategy that can help you maintain control, protect your reputation, and ultimately turn a negative situation into a victory. When you refuse to let your emotions take the lead, you show that you are unshaken by external forces. You take command of the moment, use your calmness to assess the situation clearly, and emerge with your dignity intact. Remember, calmness is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength, self-discipline, and strategic thinking. When you are the target of an insult, it's essential to take a step back and understand where the insult is coming from. Often, the person who insults you is not speaking to you directly. They are speaking from their own place of insecurity, frustration, or even jealousy. In such situations, the insult has less to do with you and much more to do with the person who delivers it. By understanding the source of the insult, you can disarm its impact and keep your own sense of self intact. The first point to remember is that insults are often a reflection of the insulter's own weaknesses or struggles. People who feel insecure about themselves or their lives are more likely to lash out at others. This behavior is a defense mechanism. When someone is feeling threatened or inferior, they may try to bring others down in order to elevate themselves, even if just temporarily. This is particularly true for individuals who lack self-confidence or who are struggling with feelings of inadequacy. Their insults are an attempt to deflect attention from their own perceived flaws and project those flaws onto you. For instance, imagine a person who is insecure about their own achievements or appearance. Instead of confronting these feelings, they may insult others as a way of masking their self-doubt. By putting someone else down, they feel a brief moment of relief from their own discomfort. However, this is not a reflection of your worth, but rather a clear indication that the person throwing the insult is struggling with their own internal battles. Their words are often not meant to hurt you, but rather to boost their own fragile ego. It's important to remember that when someone insults you, their words are just that, words. They have no true power unless you allow them to. In fact, by internalizing an insult and allowing it to affect your self-esteem, you are granting the insulter a level of control over you. Understanding that their insult is rooted in their own weaknesses allows you to reclaim that control. You are not the problem in this scenario, the person delivering the insult is. Furthermore, insults can sometimes be a result of jealousy. People who are envious of what you have, whether it's your achievements, your confidence, or your lifestyle, may resort to insults as a way of undermining you. This jealousy can be unconscious, with the insulter perhaps not even realizing that their anger or bitterness is rooted in envy. Instead of acknowledging their own feelings of inadequacy, they project them onto you in the form of hurtful words. This is why people often try to tear down those who seem to have something they don't, whether it's success, recognition, or simply the peace of mind to navigate life with confidence. By recognizing jealousy as the underlying force behind an insult, you can understand that the insult is not a critique of your character, but a desperate attempt by the insulter to cope with their own insecurities. They may feel threatened by your success or the qualities you possess, and as a result, they lash out in an attempt to diminish your value. This understanding allows you to see the insult for what it truly is, a reflection of their own emotional needs, not a valid judgment of your worth. When faced with an insult, the most immediate and powerful action you can take is to maintain your composure. In any conflict, especially one where you are being insulted or belittled, composure is your first victory. It is the foundation upon which all other actions are built. While the natural impulse may be to react with anger, frustration, or a quick retort, these responses often lead to a loss of control and can escalate the situation. Composure, on the other hand, demonstrates that you are in control of your emotions, and this is a powerful statement to make in any interaction. The ability to stay composed in the face of an insult requires a great deal of self-discipline. It is easy to fall into the trap of reacting emotionally, especially when the insult feels personal or unfair. However, reacting impulsively rarely leads to a positive outcome. It may escalate the situation, damage relationships, or cause you to say something you later regret. Maintaining composure allows you to avoid these pitfalls and take the high road, which is often the wisest course of action. One of the key aspects of composure is remaining calm. When an insult is thrown your way, it's important not to let it provoke an immediate emotional response. The more you let your emotions dictate your actions, the more vulnerable you become to manipulation. By staying calm, you essentially remove the power the insulter has over you. Insults are often intended to provoke a reaction. When you refuse to react in the way they expect, you disarm the situation. You take control of your emotional state, and that makes you less likely to fall into traps designed to provoke you. Composure also allows you to maintain your dignity. When you remain poised and unaffected, you signal to others that you are someone who can withstand adversity. This gives you an air of strength and confidence that is difficult to ignore. People naturally respect individuals who can maintain their composure under pressure because it shows that they are capable of handling difficult situations with grace and maturity. In contrast, those who react impulsively to insults often appear weak or emotionally unstable. Their reaction often betrays a lack of self-control and makes them seem vulnerable to further attack. Furthermore, composure gives you the time and space to evaluate the situation from a more rational perspective. When you're able to stay calm, you can assess the true nature of the insult, its intention, and whether it is even worth responding to. Sometimes, the best response is no response at all. The more composed you are, the more clearly you can think about how to handle the situation in a way that aligns with your values and goals. You can ask yourself, is it worth engaging in this conflict? Is the insult worth addressing, or is it better to simply ignore it and move on? A calm, composed response also allows you to choose how to engage with the insulter. If you decide to respond, being composed means you can do so with intention and purpose, rather than reacting out of anger or emotion. A composed response is far more likely to be measured and thoughtful, which can lead to a more productive conversation. It can diffuse the tension and allow you to address the issue at hand without escalating the conflict. You can express your thoughts clearly without getting caught up in the heat of the moment. This can be especially important in professional or social settings, where maintaining your composure is critical to preserving relationships and reputations. Moreover, when you maintain your composure, you project confidence and self-assurance. You are showing that you are secure enough in yourself to not be easily shaken by others' words or actions. This is not only important for others to see, but it is also vital for your own mental state. When you respond emotionally, you allow the insult to affect your self-esteem. On the other hand, when you stay composed, you protect your sense of self-worth and demonstrate that your value is not dependent on the opinions of others. You recognize that the insult is a reflection of the insulter's own issues, not a statement about you. A key aspect of composure is also knowing when to stay silent. Sometimes, saying nothing at all is the most powerful response you can give. Silence can be incredibly effective in diffusing tension because it denies the insulter the reaction they were seeking. By staying silent, you maintain control of the situation and prevent the conflict from escalating. This is especially true when the insult is petty or baseless. Often, the person who insults you is looking for an emotional reaction or an argument to justify their words. When you remain silent and composed, you take away their ability to provoke you. Lastly, composure allows you to maintain your long-term goals and objectives. Reacting impulsively to insults can divert your attention from what truly matters, whether it's your personal well-being, career, or other important goals. Maintaining composure helps you stay focused on what is important and prevents you from being derailed by the petty actions of others. By staying calm, you align your actions with your greater ambitions, not the immediate emotions triggered by an insult. In conclusion, maintaining composure in the face of insults is a powerful way to retain control over the situation and your own emotions. It allows you to maintain your dignity, protect your mental state, and make thoughtful decisions about how to handle the insult. Composure also communicates strength, confidence, and self-assurance to others, which can improve how you are perceived in both personal and professional settings. Remember, your first victory in any conflict is your ability to stay calm and composed, no matter the provocation. When faced with an insult, it's easy to view it as a negative event or a setback. The natural reaction might be to feel hurt, angry, or defensive. However, instead of allowing an insult to diminish you, the true power lies in transforming it into a source of strength. An insult doesn't have to be a wound. It can be a tool for sharpening your resolve and fortifying your character. By shifting your mindset, you can use insults as opportunities for growth and self-improvement, turning what could be a source of weakness into an advantage. The first step in transforming an insult into strength is to reframe the way you view it. Insults are often based on the perspective or insecurities of the person delivering them, not on any inherent flaw in you. Rather than taking it personally, recognize that the insult is not about your character, but about the person who is trying to undermine you. This shift in perspective allows you to detach emotionally from the insult and view it objectively. When you see an insult not as an attack on your identity, but as a reflection of someone else's issues or frustrations, you gain the upper hand. This reframing doesn't mean you ignore the insult or pretend it doesn't affect you. Instead, it means you use the insult as a catalyst for self-reflection. Ask yourself, is there any truth to what was said? Sometimes, there can be a kernel of truth in even the most hurtful of insults. If the insult is rooted in something real, such as a personal flaw or a weakness you've been avoiding, it can serve as an opportunity to improve. By using the insult as a mirror, you can identify areas for growth, whether it's in your skills, your attitude, or your behavior. This process of self-examination allows you to turn the insult into a tool for personal development, rather than something that undermines your self-esteem. Even if there is no truth to the insult, the fact that someone chose to target you means that you are likely doing something right. Often, people insult others when they feel threatened or envious of them. If your actions or success are triggering negative responses from others, it's a sign that you're making an impact, and that's something to be proud of. Instead of feeling diminished by the insult, see it as evidence that you are standing out, challenging the status quo, or succeeding in ways that others cannot ignore. In this sense, an insult becomes a testament to your influence and your ability to make waves. And you can draw strength from that realization. The next step is to use the insult as motivation to prove your critics wrong. Every time someone insults you, it can become fuel for your determination to rise above it. Instead of wallowing in the negativity, let it ignite a fire within you to demonstrate your worth through action. If someone doubts your abilities, show them through your hard work and accomplishments that their words have no basis. If someone criticizes your appearance or character, use it as an opportunity to focus on self-improvement and prove that their judgment is misguided. By channeling the negative energy from the insult into positive actions, you are taking control of the narrative and turning the insult into a source of motivation. In any confrontation, particularly when faced with insults, it's crucial to recognize that the words and actions of others are more a reflection of them than they are of you. This mindset can be incredibly empowering because it shifts the focus away from you as the target and places the responsibility where it truly belongs, on the insulter. Their words reveal their character, motives, and emotional state, which allows you to see beyond the insult and understand the deeper layers of the situation. By recognizing this, you disarm the insult's power and maintain your own sense of self. When someone insults you, it is often an attempt to lower your status or undermine your confidence. However, the act of insulting itself reveals a great deal about the person delivering the insult. People who insult others typically do so because they feel threatened, insecure, or powerless in some way. They may be projecting their own frustrations or attempting to elevate their own self-worth at the expense of someone else. Rather than allowing their words to affect your emotions or self-esteem, you can choose to view them as an opportunity to learn more about that person's inner world and vulnerabilities. One of the most important insights you can gain from an insult is the recognition that it's often not about you at all. Insults are frequently rooted in the insulter's feelings of inadequacy or jealousy. For example, if someone is envious of your success, they may insult you in an attempt to diminish your achievements and make themselves feel better. The insult, in this case, is not a reflection of your worth or abilities, but rather an expression of their own feelings of inferiority or frustration. When you understand this dynamic, you are less likely to internalize the insult or take it personally. Instead, you can see it as a projection of the insulter's internal struggles, which has very little to do with who you truly are. In the same way, an insult can reveal how the person views themselves and their place in the world. Some individuals feel the need to assert their dominance or control over others, and they may use insults as a tool for doing so. This behavior is often a sign of insecurity or a lack of self-worth. If someone feels they need to put others down in order to lift themselves up, it's clear that they are grappling with their own feelings of inadequacy. By recognizing this, you realize that their words are not about you, but about their own need for validation or superiority. This perspective allows you to distance yourself from the insult and avoid being dragged into the insulter's emotional turmoil. Moreover, an insult can reveal the insulter's values, beliefs, and biases. People often insult others because of differences in opinions, backgrounds, or experiences. Whether it's a personal attack on your appearance, intelligence, or character, the nature of the insult can tell you a lot about what the person values or the assumptions they hold. For example, if someone insults your work ethic or intelligence without basis, it may reflect their own insecurities about their own abilities or a deep-seated fear of being outperformed. If their insult is rooted in prejudices or stereotypes, it can reveal their own biases or narrow worldview. By observing these elements, you gain a better understanding of the insulter's mindset and can choose to engage or disengage accordingly. In addition to revealing the insulter's internal state, their words also provide you with an opportunity to reflect on how you want to respond. Rather than getting caught up in the insult or allowing it to provoke an emotional reaction, you can take a step back and evaluate the situation more objectively. What does the insult reveal about the insulter's character? How does their behavior affect you? Do you feel the need to defend yourself? Or is it more empowering to simply ignore the insult and maintain your composure? By taking a moment to analyze the situation, you shift the focus away from the insult itself and onto your own response, allowing you to maintain control and avoid being emotionally reactive. Furthermore, understanding that the insulter's words say more about them than about you allows you to release the need for validation from others. Many insults are designed to provoke doubt or insecurity in the person being insulted, but when you recognize that their words reflect their own struggles and limitations, you no longer feel the need to seek validation from them. You realize that their opinion does not define you, and that you are not obligated to prove your worth to someone who is attempting to diminish you. This realization empowers you to stay true to yourself and your values, regardless of the opinions of others. Another significant benefit of letting others reveal themselves through their insults is that it can provide clarity about your relationship with the insulter. If someone regularly insults you or attempts to undermine you, it may be a sign that they do not respect you or value your presence. In these cases, the insult can serve as an indicator of the insulter's intentions or feelings toward you, and it may prompt you to reconsider whether this relationship is worth maintaining. By observing the insulter's behavior and recognizing that their words reflect their own emotional state, you gain a clearer understanding of the dynamic at play and can make more informed decisions about how to navigate that relationship. In conclusion, when you encounter insults, it's essential to recognize that the words being thrown at you often reveal more about the insulter than about you. Insults are a reflection of the insulter's insecurities, frustrations, biases, and emotional state. By choosing to see the situation through this lens, you can disarm the insult's power and focus on your own response rather than internalizing the negativity. When you let others reveal themselves through their words, you maintain your emotional composure, protect your self-worth, and gain deeper insights into the nature of the insulter and the relationship you share. This understanding allows you to rise above insults and remain in control of your emotional state and actions. In the face of insults and negative remarks, it can be all too easy to become distracted from your true purpose. People may try to throw you off course, attempting to create doubt, frustration, or insecurity, and their words may seem powerful in the moment. However, the key to maintaining your strength and composure lies in keeping your focus fixed on your path, on your goals, and on what truly matters to you. The world is full of distractions, but those who succeed are the ones who stay unwavering in their pursuit of their vision, regardless of the obstacles they face or the opinions others try to impose on them. One of the most powerful ways to avoid being derailed by insults or distractions is by maintaining a clear sense of purpose. When you are clear about your goals, you are less likely to let the negativity or criticism of others shake your confidence. Insults often come from people who are either envious, threatened by your progress, or struggling with their own issues. These individuals may not have a clear sense of purpose or direction, and their attempt to undermine you is a reflection of their own internal conflict. If you allow yourself to be sidetracked by their words, you risk losing sight of your own aspirations and values. By staying focused on your path, you ensure that external noise cannot interfere with the progress you've made. Maintaining focus on your path also means practicing emotional discipline. While it's natural to feel hurt or upset when someone insults you, giving in to these emotions can cause you to react impulsively or irrationally. When you allow your emotions to take over, it's easy to become distracted by the situation at hand and lose sight of your long-term goals. Instead of responding emotionally, make a conscious choice to stay focused on the bigger picture. In moments of insult, take a step back, breathe, and remind yourself of why you're on this journey in the first place. What are your goals? What is your purpose? By shifting your attention away from the temporary disturbance of the insult, you bring your focus back to what really matters. Another key element of staying focused on your path is learning to ignore the opinions of those who do not have a constructive role in your life. Everyone has their own perspective, and while feedback from trusted mentors, friends, or colleagues can be valuable, opinions from strangers or those with ill intentions should be discarded. Insults are often designed to provoke a reaction or to create doubt in your abilities, but their true intent has nothing to do with your personal journey. It is important to recognize that not every voice or opinion needs to be heard or acted upon. People may insult you because they are projecting their own insecurities or because they want to draw attention away from their own shortcomings. Their opinions are not worth your time or energy, and they should not distract you from your purpose. When you stay focused on your path, you develop resilience in the face of adversity. Life will inevitably present challenges, and there will always be people who try to undermine your progress. However, those who are able to maintain their focus on their goals, even in the midst of criticism and setbacks, are the ones who ultimately succeed. The ability to block out distractions and stay dedicated to your mission is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who are sidetracked by negativity. Focus gives you the strength to move forward, even when the road is difficult and the distractions seem overwhelming.